to remain standing for a moment of silence for the first responders that we have lost since the last time we were together. Thank you.
I'm gonna make it.
Item number 3 on the agenda, approval of minutes from the regular month meeting, May 12th, 2022. Motion been made by Commissioner, seconded by Commissioner Fitzpatrick. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Same. Motion carries. Report, chairman report. I have very little to bring up at this time, other than we did meet, Commissioner Brennan and myself did meet with the committee, I guess we will call it. You can interview new candidates, and there'll be more on that later. The other thing is I really appreciate everybody making the effort to be here tonight and the other nights as well. So thank you very much. With that, Chief's report.
I will be similarly brief. That's my version of brief. So a couple of things that I want to bring your attention to. Obviously, you know that we're in negotiations. We continue to, well, we're in arbitration. However, we have had an off-the-record discussion, and I continue to advocate for additional off-the-record discussions in order to find a negotiated as opposed to an arbitrated settlement. As you can imagine, that is very difficult to achieve, given the state of tension between all parties, but I continue to pursue that. And as recently as yesterday, the union president, myself, and the first selectwoman met in her office. So that is an ongoing issue. Budget, we're completing our fiscal year, and we will end up in the black.
Maybe.
We are expecting to end up in the back. The new fiscal year coming up, some of the outstanding projects that we have queued up, we're still working to get the bathroom project off the ground, back and forth with the architect fees, and working with the purchasing department. We are at the point of signing the last document to move forward on that at Station 2 primarily. Overhead doors, we do have pricing, and we'll move forward with the overhead door project, not as robust or complete as we had hoped with 3 stations, but we will get the front doors of Station 2, front and back Station 1, and if possible, Station 5. So that is the plan. The other 2 items that I want to bring to your attention, the fire department was heavily involved with Cindy Iodice. Corey Iodice was a tow truck operator, and 2 years ago he was struck on the parkway and killed by a drunk driver. And the sentencing was at the Superior Court last Thursday. And we attended a press conference. I attended a press conference. And then on Monday, the department, along with the police department, participated in the development of a PSA for slow down, move over flagman project. And we are seeking support from Senator Blumenthal, and hopefully we'll meet with him if he can make the introductions with the Secretary of Transportation, Pete Buttigieg, to make this a national initiative. There's just way too many first responders and construction, maintenance, and towers that are getting killed because, as we've all seen on the highway, the reckless driving at very high speeds, and then surprised by something on the side of the road, tow truck operator. It is, when I went to Washington State with my daughter, She said it is the custom out there that everybody slows down and moves over one lane away from anybody. Not, emergency lights, not because it's state law, anybody on the side of the road. They give it a very wide berth, and it's a culture issue. So hopefully we can change the culture in the state of Connecticut as well. And lastly, I want to recognize the CERT team, Deputy Chief Dunn, who leads that for the fire department, and Cindy O'Neill Vitale, and our own Norma Peterson, and the entire group were recognized by the Rotary Club as one of the pillars of the community. And it was spectacular. You remember the Rotary used to have a big fundraiser, celebrity luncheon fundraiser, and this was a different version of that, and I think much more appealing, but maybe not as lucrative from a fundraising perspective. So hopefully they'll continue it, but our CERT team was recognized for all of the work that they do to support the community, and it was a fabulous event. And with that, I will end there.
Yes.
Driving home last night, I was actually thinking about the move over and to reach out to Google Maps for a base, because they have the ability to put it on, they know about the construction and they show you the traffic slowdown, but they don't have a little arrow that pops up and says, move this way, kind of thing. And it might be one more thing that moves it over. Because I was going through construction last night.
You get, those pop up and notice that, everything from roadkill on a roadway to something or a hazard in the roadway. That is a great idea.
Picked up on ways.
Yeah.
And actually move one, move two.
Right, it's a matter of embedding that idea in people's heads, and people will follow that.
Right.
Good, that's a great suggestion.
Thank you. It was on the way home last night as I drove through construction.
And what I do, and it's not part of the law, but because I have experience where I slow down and move over one lane, and I create a space closer to the accident, and someone passes me on the right close to the accident. So what I've done in response to that is I put my emergency flashers on, I slow down and I move over one lane. And it seems to help, that you don't have people passing you on the right,
I will,
now that you've made space.
I throw my four ways on.
Yeah.
And I move over a half to 3/4 of a lane,
Good point.
so that you can't get by me on the other.
Yeah.
Good point.
So, basically try to one block.
Yeah.
For it until I get by it. And once, like yourself, for you, for somebody, makes that initial slowdown, it has
Right.
that ripple effect all the way behind. We all know that all
And
too
it
well.
takes, I would, in the past, I wouldn't slow down. It's like I was insensitive to it. And it's like, I don't want to lose any time.
Right.
You lose 3 seconds. It's immaterial.
I have to say, I have been much more conscious of it since Corey got killed. He was a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And that is just now.
Yeah.
Move over,
And a good friend of my daughter's, her dad, Wagmeister, out of Weston, was killed in 2013, same thing. So they're under inside of this. So tow truck operators, because they don't have the benefit that we have, we pull a big fire truck and stick it in the roadway and angle people out. And now firefighters have been hurt when people drive into the side of this big doorstop. But it is, we have the benefit, and we make sure that we protect our own people or their work zone. Towers are out there by themselves many, many times. And particularly, so, thank you.
Any other questions for the chief? Deputy Chief, you're up.
So among our incidents, fire incidents during the month was a Westport mutual aid, a larger fire, a small fire in a dorm at the university, but also a lithium ion battery fire. That was just a GPS unit, but it was a small thing, but it started a fire and the person had a full dust. So some issues with that we're watching, right? We're watching. During the month, we participated in a few different things around town. Notable is the mock drills, the mock crashes at both our high schools. So that's where where the students do it's like a play outside using a car that's an abandoned car. And it's scripted that they're going to prom, and so the driver was drinking and they get into a crash and the student dies. And on the participation, if you've never seen it, it includes Fairfield Fire with the Jaws of Life, Fairfield Police, taking the breathalyzer, doing accident investigation, helping the student who was responsible, and the student that died, not still know, but it's Kevin Lesko and his son taking out the gun and taking away the body. So I think it always chokes the kids up, and more than not, they usually do have an alumnus or an alumna who experienced this and tells his or her story of how they were in the car and their lives changed. Some of them in the past were the actual drivers, some were just passengers, but told how their friends died. So it is a chilling day, and hopefully we hope that it leaves a mark on the kids. So we were also participated in the fan post for the half marathon and Memorial Day. In the personnel line, as we said, we completed the candidate orals in 3 days. It was an excellent panel. We were pleased with the results, and thank our staff for all the help that they've done behind the scenes for us too to help. We also hosted, as the chief said, Bridgeport area retired firefighter service. It comes around to each fire department, whatever, 5 years or something, over through the years off. But I think our people did a great job with that. Bobby Smith and our staff, our admin staff. There's a lot of help from everybody, and it went very smoothly. I know it's not an operational thing, but it's something where it's good for our people and all the other people to honor those who served and give the ultimate sacrifice, but also those who passed away during natural causes since our last meeting. We participated in emergency management. We participated in the EPI exercise, which is the statewide exercise in hurricane planning with our department heads and our key players in emergency management. And that day, and continuing with facilities, as the chief mentioned, a couple of the projects, but also continuing with the flooring project, Station 3. I think the kitchen floor was just completed. The kitchen and day room floor, that also, I suppose, in addition to what we've done last month with the dorm and the dividers there. Station 5 dividers are not today, very soon.
Okay, do we have any questions for the deputy chief? Any questions for the deputy chief?
Before you go on, can I just recognize Alex? Forgive me for not mentioning with the CERT team that was recognized. Alex as well was recognized as a pillar of the community, and it was when you hear the description of what Alex has done, we're always awed by the level of engagement and the impact that he's had on people on the other side of the world. I'm very thoughtful. So congratulations. Thank you.
I'm slow today.
Me too. I know. You have a better reason than me.
But now we both have the same reason. Okay, I have not received any correspondence from Southport, and I do not see them on the call. Okay. I have not received any correspondence from Strathfield, and I don't see them on the call. Okay. I don't see anybody here from local 1426, and they are not
on the call.
We're okay. I'll talk to her.
I have texted the president, the vice president, and the secretary. Yeah.
Evan, do you want to take a ride? Sit down, do you want to take a ride?
We just wondering.
Yeah, I think we can do it on their behalf. We know.
Do
that
you
we-
have enough information?
Yeah.
And I had spoke to Bill the other day.
Yeah, we had talked about it.
Yep.
And-
All right, we'll wait till we get there.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so 1426, nothing. We are now up to CERT. Norma, I see your name up there.
And you're not on
Yes.
yet?
Okay.
I'm here and unmuted. First, I'd really also like to congratulate Fire Commissioner Plitzis. I'm glad to see you there, and we were very impressed with everything you do. Again, congratulations to you. A very quick report for CERT. Although we were busy, we assisted with traffic and pedestrians for the Memorial Day Parade. And as usual, we assisted with pleasure with the half marathon. We had about 35 volunteers there with traffic and parking. And that's it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Norm.
Okay, next on the agenda is donations. I looked through the package. I did not see any.
Yeah, I didn't see one.
Okay, so we will now move on to old business. Actually, can I back up? Only because I just want to be, does anybody have any questions for Sir? Because I didn't ask. Any commissioners have any questions for Norma while she's still here?
Great job.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. I'm sorry about that. We are now on old business charter revision.
Yes,
Commissioner Brennan,
yes.
you're up.
Thank you. We made some progress. Largely through the chair of charter revision, whose name I'm blanking on at the moment. Anyway. In investigating it, it looks like due to changes in the state charter, state statutes, the language of our charter does not appear problematic, except for one thing that I asked him to deal with. And by the way, in general, the Charter Revision Committee seems to believe they shouldn't be revising anything, is the read I get. But in fact, it says we're responsible, the charter says we're responsible for placement of fire hydrants. And I was like, we don't do that. Take that out. The other one that we have to investigate, Chief, is the language in the charter. We won't get it changed, but there's a simple workaround. I read it the first time and I didn't bring it up for today. It essentially makes us responsible for all promotions. And I think what has to happen, if in fact I'm right on that language, is simply when you get the list, we approve the list at the meeting. It's a simple fix.
Yep.
And so we were going to continue to close the loop and make sure everything was on the charter. The chairman was doing that, but it appears like we're okay now. So you can take that off. Future agendas, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, very
Any
good.
vote to reduce the size of the commission from 7 persons on.
I want to expand
Didn't
it.
hear any of that.
I want to expand it, but keep the quorum at 4.
Right.
I want to thank you for that, because I know you put a lot of effort in that. And
Mostly
you weren't,
just chasing.
exactly, you were getting no response, which is very frustrating when you don't get responses.
Well, and I was dealing directly with the clerk of the court and the
Right,
people in the two
So-
court to try to get an answer.
you know, you carbon copied me on your emails, I saw everything that was going on, so thank you very much for the effort that you put into that there.
Happy to do it. There
So-
are advantages to being 3 generations of lawyers. At least that's my way around. Yeah, right. Mostly I take the
You don't have a
advantage.
phone number.
So we are now slowly moving on to new business.
We can circle back if I
Which-
do the first.
Right, so under new business, right now, we have,
Yes.
to promulgate the firefighter list, the new list that is up there.
So
We
I,
met for the last 3 days. We interviewed 10 candidates.
you're taking my motion away.
I'm just gonna- You're gonna be in it, don't worry about it. I know. It's an intro.
Sort of had the language.
A lot of hard work went into it. There's a lot, when the first time I did it 3 interviews ago, I had no clue what I was getting myself into. There is a lot of thought that goes into it and grading people. It's just not, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. There's a lot of analyzing how people spoke. And we did really good with discussions after the candidate left between everybody that did the interview. There was a lot of back and forth on it, and I thought it went very well once again. Chief,
Your training is nearly complete.
my training for what? I will send a note out to the 3 other members of the career department from the commission, recognizing the amount of effort and work that they put into it. So I just want to let
The
you know that.
assistant chief can get a letter too.
Yeah, he can get one too, but he's here,
Right, deputy chief.
So the deputy, he'll be included in that, but especially for the other guys. And that is, they're looking at it as, these are gonna be the people that at one point in time are gonna be underneath them and then turn into the future of the department. We interviewed the candidates looking at saying, these people are here for 30 years, we got a big investment. So that being said, I will turn it over to Commissioner Brennan to give you a little bit more of an update on that.
Well, before we do that, I'm actually going to make a motion so we can then open discussion. I make a motion that the commission establish the town of Fairfield Fire Department firefighter eligibility list to be effective June 10th, tomorrow, 2022, and be effective until June 30th, 2024, unless the successor list is approved by the Fairfield Fire Commission. The following is the rank order list established for candidates. 1, Ryan Farrow. 2, Michael Wall. 3, Sean Pichette. 4, Michael Baumglatt. 5, John Burke. 6, James Andriozzi. 7, Nick Santiello. 8, Harry Russell. 9, Christopher Dubois. I need a second.
Motion been made, seconded, discussion.
Now let me just pick up. Just so you know the names, the panel was Deputy Chief Dunn, Assistant Chief Roger Case, Lieutenant John Castanella, firefighter Matt Strebe, Joe, and myself. We interviewed the top 30 candidates from the consortium list that was just published that have EMT credentials. And as Joe said, 10 a day, which is a lot. The questions were prepared by the testing company. We had some new and I think great questions this time. And the interview panel was unanimous in its recommendation for the approval of this list and the order that it is in.
So, any other questions, comments? Chief?
I just want to thank the commission for the recommendation 3 cycles ago to participate in the process. And we went from subsequent interviews by the commission to embedding commissioners into a single process. And I think that it is an extraordinary process. And the commission's presence adds a lot of value to that. And I think your perspective is important to the process. When we decided to, or scheduling this, we wanted to bring the band back together because of how well it worked last time. So thank you for giving up 3 of your days to participate in it. And I think that you feel the same way that the uniform members felt, that this is an important part of the department and its impact over the long term. So thank you.
Yeah. The one thing I would say is there's 2 side benefits to this. Is one, it's an opportunity for the commission to get to know some of the firefighters better. Two, and certainly Matt in his parting comments today recognized it, it is an incredible development opportunity. And so as much as this group likes working together and we got it down so we get into really meaty discussions fast, I think there's a real advantage in rotating new people, particularly the more junior people, and even at the assistant chief level, in there for those kinds of reasons, both the exposure to the commission and just the general development, because it really gets them thinking about how do you run the department, what's the leadership role, and those kinds of things. So,
Any other comments or questions from the commission? Okay, at this point in time, I would like to, well, we have a motion that's seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Vacation carryover approval.
Vacation. Is that okay with you? I can carry over. Stephanie and I have.
I'm like, I didn't realize we had to do his.
By all means,
Huh?
take all the time you need.
The deputy and I, by contract, can carry over 5 days. Both of us have significantly more time than that, that we can take, but we request that those 5 days be carried over.
so
Motion made and seconded. Any other discussion?
The amount of time that they've spent working through this last series of crises, I mean, if we were an extra day, it will carry us over, so. Just make sure it's known.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, next on the list, item number 7, executive session. Authorized sick leave extension. Can I get a motion to go into executive session? So moved. Motion made and seconded.
including the chief, deputy chief, and union president in the executive session.
That's correct.
It has to be recorded in the motion.
Yeah, no, I know.
I think we want you to come back at the end.
Yeah, for public comment.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
No, about that. Where's that in?
So,
Yes, she's still there?
no, she's back.
She left.
She's in person, that's
Yeah, so.
So at 7:33, we are back in public session.
And deputy, you need to make sure that Jude knows that Rob is.
Yes.
Please.
That's right. What time? 7:33.
7:33, public
Commissioner
session.
Tinto came for the privilege of voting for adjournment.
Absolutely.
I will let you do that.
I make a motion to extend the firefighter in question's leave through June 17th.
So we got a motion, it's been seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Next
Rob should
item,
make the next motion.
next item is public comment.
We don't have any.
Okay, I don't see anybody from the public. Next item, to hear and consider and act upon any other business that shall come before this, that shall properly come before this meeting. Does anybody else have anything that we may have missed? In that case, okay,
Just the previous agenda, items, 14 process, there's Bill wasn't here. Did you have anything?
If Jude's here, can I do that?
Yeah, we'll give
Yeah.
her the minutes.
Oh, okay, the only thing I have is that as promised, I finally got our GIS study. I'm gonna put that all together, I'm gonna run it by the chief, and then I'll have it disseminated to you guys, it'll come with a fact sheet and my phone number. And if, I don't
And
know.
the actual study from
Yep.
them too.
Oh, yeah, it'll be the study, the fact sheet that'll kind of explain it. I'll also be available for anyone who has a specific question about it.
All right, thank you, sir.
in that case, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
Sorry, so late. I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
We're out of here.